When to trust your gut. Always. Keep watching as we go over the top reasons why you should always trust your gut and how to listen within. Bonjour. Welcome to La Clinique Molière, where we increase awareness and improve the quality of living. I'm Rachelle. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I'm also a certified nurse midwife, and on this channel, we talk about mindful living, self-development, and women's health. Let's get to it. I just wanted to start this video out with saying merci to all of our new subscribers and our active subscribers. Thank you so much for watching. You mean so much to me. Let's get to it. Oftentimes people are like, oh yeah, just take it to God, let God handle it, won't he do it? And and it's easier said than done. So we're going to talk about what that looks like and practical tips on how to move forward with going within and actually trusting the voice within and trusting your guidance system. So I wanted to cover this topic because I have been there where I don't trust myself. I don't go within. I don't trust my intuition or my guidance system. And I'm always calling people for advice or guidance on what I should do next. And it wasn't just a call out for help. I literally would be crying, the ugly face, cry, what should I do? This happened. So I've been there, vulnerable, and it's okay to be vulnerable, but it is also okay to know where your true guidance comes from. And that's what we're going to cover today. Definitely, it's okay to seek wise counsel from someone who's more experienced or someone who has been studying to show themselves approved or a guidance system or an expert. It's okay to seek guidance, but what I want to bring home is that the majority of your guidance should come from within. So whenever my friends call me and ask me for advice, I always I give neutral advice, but I am always directing them to go within. And we're going to talk about what does that sound like? What does it feel like? And how do you really even know the ego versus your, spirit guide or, who's speaking to you? So sometimes it's difficult to decipher, especially if you're not used to going within and listening to your heart for guidance. So you have the married person calling the single friend asking for advice, or you have the new single mom, for example, asking the friend with no kids, what should I do? Whether it's a new job offer where you have no experience, or it's a new friendship, or maybe a leveled up friendship or love relationship, and you're like, am I good enough, and will I have what it takes? Or if you've been out of work for so long and you're not sure if you're going to be able to master the skill, are you worthy enough? Do you have what it takes? All of those things come from within. So we say we believe in God, but we still feel inadequate, or we still feel unworthy, or we still feel like we don't have enough information or resources, but we believe in this creator that is all there is. You see the disconnect? Yeah. So that's to bring it home. We want to call on to get advice, or we don't think we're enough within ourselves to where the advice comes from. And it's because of that disconnect with God. So we're saying we believe in this, creator, but we are going outside of him to seek advice. Get it? In my experience, the voice of God or your intuition, your guidance system, the true wise counsel can come in many different forms. Okay, so he's expansive. So some people can hear a voice, an audible voice that is outside of their own voice when it's time for guidance. Some people can go within, quiet the mind, and hear their own voice that maybe, some enlightenment or an awakening that, you probably would not have that information, or you definitely didn't have that source. So especially if you ask a question. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to trigger and how to elicit some of those responses, but you have to engage. Okay, so we always say we want, and we want, but we haven't really decided. So when you decide what you want, or when you decide how you want to feel, then you go within, or then you maybe ask a question to God, or maybe you elicit a response from your guidance system, if that makes sense. Some people may also feel their intuition or their heartstrings. So how do you feel? Can you close your eyes and be guided to the next step? Can you close your eyes and see what's go to left or go right? Can you close your eyes to see, what the answers are? And again, sometimes it just comes from feeling and what your heartstrings are saying. Some people may also get guidance from, an absolute complete stranger and or that comes to bring you the answer to the question you elicited, or you may get interactions with nature. So be very open. God is expansive, he's universal, so please be open to the various ways that God can connect and communicate. So here's some ways I like to make the connection and follow my heart and go within for guidance. You may want to write a question down, or you may say your question. You may want to give a sweet command, command you me. You may want to build a relationship. So your spiritual practice, that daily work of affirmations, prayer, meditation, maybe yoga, where you get to silence the mind and quiet and go within. That is another really great way to go within and decipher your ego voice versus your, God voice and your guidance system. So with that building of a relationship, then you communicate more, and you may communicate with words, you may communicate without words. It may just be all feeling. Sometimes I would ask a question. I'm like, hey God, and I always look to my right. Hey God, what do you think about? Or hey God, this is going on at work. What do you think about? So just talk to him like that. Like have a regular conversation. Hey universe, what do you think about this decision or this job promotion? Should I take it, or am I supposed to be here or not? So you don't have to look over to the right because God's within and God's everywhere. So you don't have to do that, but it's just my way, my connection that I have. So whatever it takes for you to start building that conversation, building that relationship, that's what's going to be the key to trusting yourself in the guidance that you're getting, because you're always getting constant guidance from God. Another way I like to connect and build a relationship so that I'm more privy to going within and listening to my guidance system is just talking about everything. So I literally tell him about everything as if he doesn't already know what's going on. Just to have that communication, that open communication. So I'm like, listen, you won't believe what happened today. Such and such did this and this and this. How am I supposed to feel about that? So whatever it takes, and you don't have to be, so colorful. But again, building that relationship and talking to your source more builds that relationship for you to trust your counsel and trust your guidance system and going within. I usually get my downloads and my guidance from within when I'm quiet and my mind is still, and I go to meditation into stillness. So try it. I take a couple deep breaths in and out, conscious breathing. I quiet the mind, quiet the heart, quiet the body. And I listen within. And that's typically when I get guidance to my questions we talked about, how to ask, or when we had a chat about what we should do, etc. And I typically get my responses when I'm quiet. So I like to think that prayer is when you're doing all the chatting and you're telling, God, what's going on, or, universe, this is what happened, or you name it. And then meditation is allowing God to speak to you and you go within. So you doing the chatter with prayer and meditation is allowing God to speak or listening. So you get to listen, and that's a effective communication, right? Listening and speaking. So that's how I like to look at it. So that goes back to building that relationship, is you're not doing all the talking. And so that's how I like to look at it. So guidance can come when you are absolutely still and the stillness with meditation, or it can come when you are carrying on with your activities of daily living and you get a download or you get an instruction to do something or go somewhere or make a call to someone when you weren't thinking of them at all. And so as you build that relationship, you will trust some of those guidance that, especially when it has nothing to do with anything that was planned for the day, and you'll learn to go within more. And the more you trust and the more you listen to instruction, the more you get, because the more aware you are and the more sensitive and aware you are to your guidance. So that's how I like to look at it. And those are some of my practical tips on how to listen within and go within for your guidance system. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so happy you joined us. Feel free to share, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss another video. Share this video because we're increasing awareness and improving quality of living. Thanks for watching. I'm Rachel again, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.